I'm Peter Burggraaff. I'm CEO of Vivara, CJ Wildlife. We operate in the northern part of Europe, mainly in the UK, Germany, and in the Netherlands is our head office. We're also lucky to have clients in France, Poland, the Nordics, and also more in the Middle European region. We're not only selling, we're also producing quite a lot of the products for wildlife. We produce fat balls, seed mixes, which birds in the garden love and like a lot. Also other wildlife in gardens, like for hedgehogs and for squirrels, we make different products. And besides food, we also have quite a big hardware business. So we make nest boxes, we make feeding houses, and all different type of elements you need to actually feed wildlife. Besides that, we also have a lot of gifts. So everybody who likes wildlife a lot, they like to sort of also give each other presents, and also things to use to actually learn more about wildlife, and also to enjoy wildlife in different ways, like binoculars, etc. Our business is built on top of a lot of good heritage. We already have been existing for 25 years. And during that heritage, we really have built ourselves a brand around quality. Quality is very important for us. It is also important for our customers, who really feel that our products have sort of really good value in the end to preserve wildlife. This is a very strong sort of inherited value we carry. At the same time, we also carry a very strong value of collaboration and a lot of cross-functional teaming. As I said, we work across multiple countries. Also, our offices are based in those countries as well. So our UK, our German, and our sort of also our Dutch colleagues need to work together a lot. And I think this sort of cross-functional collaboration is a very important element, which then you have to also elements like trust and sort of also focus of important components in there as well. First started working with SimplyCommerce already quite a while back. So through my previous job, where I was advising a lot of retailers on digital transformations, I got to know sort of the founders of SimplyCommerce, and we started to talk a bit about what it takes to actually create an organization to really drive digital innovations, and also what technology evolutions you could see. So through different sort of conversations, we also ended up recording a podcast where we also had a wonderful interview around sort of the conversations on how to grow technology moving forward. And we stayed in touch, and it was interesting to see that SimplyCommerce was also from a UK base, started to explore other sort of regions, and very much of a coincidence also looked at Germany and the Netherlands, which I thought was such a perfect match of where I wanted to have core capabilities around the B2C space, and also where SimplyCommerce was expanding their business into. The process of how SimplyCommerce and also Vivara started to collaborate together, we really were looking for a partner who to help us in really thinking through our mainly B2C team, so the online and web shop sort of capabilities, who could really help us best in that space. We were looking for a partner who would not only help us with recruit critical talent, but also as a sparring partner to think through, okay, but what organization do we actually need? What is the modern way of setting up a B2C team, and also in the technology side? So the good thing was that in conversations with SimplyCommerce, we quickly found that actually they had a lot of similar type of philosophies in how you actually have to build a team, also with a hybrid working style, culture building, and also collaboration was very important in the way how SimplyCommerce talks about building teams. So there I felt a high level of overlap, and to be honest, that is very different than what you normally see in recruiting firms who just come for a job and then go out again. SimplyCommerce, the way how SimplyCommerce works is it really is aligned with our geographical scope, and also the way how SimplyCommerce thinks about how you have to set up teams. It is not about an individual, but it's about sort of the total collaboration of a group of people working together. And I think that the way how SimplyCommerce also engaged with us, and as was talking to us as well from actually different people within the company, they all talk the same language of actually having to think not only about the role you're recruiting for, but also the context that person needs to operate within. And that really made me interested in making sure we further collaborate with SimplyCommerce, and not only on specific recruiting questions, but also as more or less an advisor in a broader sense. The conversations we had with SimplyCommerce and Vivara, we started to realize it's not only about finding a new role, a new person to complement the team, but also actually to look for advice in how to really build the team moving forward. I mean, I was quite new in the role, and we need to also have an outside opinion on how actually the team is structured. What is the internal culture of that particular B2C team, but also how can we grow? What are the bottlenecks to actually grow further? And I really felt I needed external advice in how to look at that B2C team and also then have an opinion about, okay, well, what's happening in the industry as a whole in this particular field of skills and capabilities, and how can we best leverage that knowledge moving forward. So my initial expectations of this consulting advising service was very much around, okay, I just want to understand the current state of that team. What are the bottlenecks? What is the culture? What are the internal sort of ways of working? And how does it match against the benchmark of what we see in the external sort of B2C market? So with the help of SimplyCommerce, we saw some really major milestones to be achieved. I mean, the first one was, as I said, we had some bvacancies which we needed to fill, and because of our joint collaboration in this consulting assignment, we were much better in sharpening what it is we really need. That was a big sort of benefit coming out of it. The second thing what I see as well, as I said before, we have a lot of collaboration across the different teams, and we're required to do more of that as well across the different geographies we're operating in. The consulting assignment has also caused us to think more about that collaboration model. And what I see now happening, and whenever there's a problem to be solved, very quickly we don't look for the people sitting next to you to solve the problem, but to look in the B2C team, who are the best team members to do this with. It could be either in the UK or it could be in Germany. And that I think is really a big benefit of having done this exercise together with SimplyCommerce, that that's being more visible and more top of mind for us as a way for solving problems and attacking different challenges. Yeah, so what are the differentiating factors of SimplyCommerce versus other recruiting agencies? What I see is SimplyCommerce is not only looking for a particular job, they always look in the context within that job, around that job in which that person needs to work. Not only is sharpening the profile itself before going to market, but also to judge if somebody would fit actually in the role. For example, at Vivara CJ Wildlife, we're very much of a preserving wildlife environment. You need to also like that. I mean, you need to have sort of an intrinsic motivation of wanting to make the world a better place, as simple as that. That's the larger context. You won't write it down in a profile per se, but what I see SimplyCommerce doing is much more looking for that context, looking for that sort of people with passion on those type of topics, on top of all the type of capabilities you need to have in the role, of course. That I think is really different than other recruiting firms I work with. They very much more sort of ask me the profile, they recruit against the profile, they say, well, these are the people who match the profile. And that's it. That's sort of quite, I would say, a one-dimensional recruiting process. SimplyCommerce takes a much bigger sort of perspective. What does the future look like with working with SimplyCommerce? Well, I would love to think that it's going to be a long future together. We really want to grow in the B2C space. We think there's so much potential in attracting new customers and actually working together in the B2C space to explain what wildlife preservation is all about. Look for new sort of demographics to actually enjoy wildlife in your garden and the environment. Would I recommend the services to others? SimplyCommerce is a great company. I really like the people working there. They're passionate. Everybody I speak to there, they really sort of understand what it is we try to achieve and therefore also how they contribute to that goal. We get very good updates on progress of sort of routing processes, but also we get challenging questions. Are you really sure you want to look for this particular sort of element as well? Those type of things I really enjoy with working together with SimplyCommerce, and I think are great assets to have. So yeah, whenever you have a recruiting problem in the B2C space, absolutely, I think SimplyCommerce is a great party to work with.